It's not always easy to do a warm up and take your rest breaks and your water breaks and your cool down. But I just want to tell you how very, very important that is. When we get to practice, sometimes people are already warming up on the table. As long as you're warming up and you're doing it gradually, that's really good because it's important that your muscles start warming up slowly. But there's a real importance in a gradual warm up. So you don't want to just pop in there and start playing competitively. And this is at any level, really, any level of your condition, any age you are. Warm up is always a really good idea. So in a warm up, what it does is it gradually increases your heart rate. Your blood vessels sort of adjust progressively so that your muscles start to work and return the blood back to the heart. They do a lot of that when you're doing big muscle warm-ups like your squats and core muscles. The autonomic nervous system becomes more active and more responsive. And you do this sort of slowly, taking really good breaths. And it also improves your attentional focus so you're ready. So you're ready for your workout. So warm up is a really important thing, even if you're only going to do it for a few minutes. And I'd suggest some stretches as well. We do often a lot of like exercises and stretches for our ankles and our wrists and so forth. Just helps you get ready and get into play. Slow rallying is what we usually do when we get onto the table, and slow rallying has a whole lot of purposes. But the objective here is that slow, it just again starts to warm you up and get ready for good play. It also sort of hones your attentional system. So slow rallying is a really good sort of warm up. Now, taking rest breaks is super, super important as well. And our attentional system is quite sensitive to being active for too long a period of time without a rest. About 20 to 25 minutes, usually, our attentional system needs a bit of a reset. But our whole bodies require taking some rest breaks. And I really highly encourage people to do that. So when you come to practice, sure, work out, have fun, practice hard, but be sure you take your test breaks and monitor how you feel as you go. So in particular, some of our groups, our Parkinson's groups, really important to keep monitoring how you feel, sensing, interpreting, and sort of integrating your internal physiological signals. There's a really complex network involved here. And the more we get familiar with that network, the better we are at keeping our balance or our homeostasis. So when you do your wows, be sure you do a wow for yourself, just for taking breaks and monitoring how you feel as you go. Take a rest and sit down if you start to feel like you ought to. Now, although interoceptive signaling or signaling sort of our systems that keep our bodies in sort of homeostasis, it's often not through conscious awareness, but we can become more and more conscious of our body systems and our awareness and our associated sensations, including our breathing and our heart rate. And that just also comes with attending to those things. There's certain things that we want to be slightly cautious of, like, for example, orthostatic hypotension, like when we can sort of get up a little bit too quickly. That can be exacerbated in some cases, being on medication or being fatigued. We really want to recognize the subtle warning signs of that. And if you start feeling like you're maybe losing a bit balance, getting a bit lightheaded, those warning signs are super, super important to be aware of. And always then just take a rest, sit down and take a rest, a really good idea. Keeping hydrated is also super important, as you well know. You want to take water breaks. And every 20 minutes or so, it might be a good idea to have a few sips of your water. Your water might not be a fancy sparkling water like in this glass here, but if you can just get yourself a glass of water or get your water bottle, really super important to keep hydrated for many, many reasons. And there's some earlier videos on the importance of keeping hydrated for our general cognition and brain health. A gradual cool down after training is always a good idea. And this can be as simple as just a slow walk around or some simple stretches or really just chilling with the team, talking a bit, socializing, having a good time. But all that is really, really important for a cool down, so that you don't completely stop activity abruptly. So cool downs are good and they're also fun. Enjoy it all.